Hey guys, Grubby Panda here. And another review. So a couple weeks ago, or a month ago now, I finished in 100% the Steam achievements for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Um, Once again, I'm gonna change up how I do my reviews. I think I'm gonna start just doing this. I'll implement some gameplay clips to prove points and whatnot on if I have hot topic or like a hot what's that? What's the word we're looking for? Like disagreement essentially or whatnot, or proving, examples, comparisons, is whatever. Um, so Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Um, we'll go through a quick summary recap. So Jedi Survivor takes immediate precedence after Jedi Fallen Order, in which Cal joins Saw Gerrera in the rebellion and begins to attempt to dissemble the Empire. Um, the game takes place after he creates a faux capture and to go after some sort of Empire guru that's heavily involved with them, taking them out. You get some couple key characters like Bode. Bode becomes a really good friend of Cal. Um, Going through after he escapes the Coruscant, taking care of that Imperial, it's like an Inquisitor or Ambassador or something. The Mantis gets destroyed, like ruined or damaged, lands on the planet Kobo, and that's when he realizes that's where Grease, the old original pilot of the Mantis, is and resides at a cantina that he created there. Long story short, Grease helps Cal fix the Mantis. They find out that the High Republic used to reside on Kobo and created a compass to essentially cut through a thing called the Kobo Abyss, which is like this slip of space that is like incredibly treacherous to try and go through without dying, essentially. You find out that a man named Dagon Gera and Santari Kree found a new planet through the Kobo Abyss called Tanalor, and it's completely benign of any galactic input. Yep, and that thing was muted. So I had to cut away as my child barged into my room. All right. So yeah, Cal goes up to this Kobo Observatory, whatever the fuck, and finds Dagan Gera, who is in a Bacta tank with a missing arm. Then we get some like true representation of a crystal bleeding, which was kind of cool. Also really unrealistic, as it kind of like undertones the emotional requirement of bleeding a crystal and how deadly it can be. I'm a little on it. I'm still a little I'm not a huge Star Wars nerd. I know a bit or enough to be called a fan because I know a lot. I'm just not like super. I guess you could put it on the line like where people get super like into 40, Warhammer 40K style. I'm not that deep into it. They go to the Shattered Moon, they go to other planets, they go back to Jeddah, or they go to Jeddah, where you find Seer and the Andana Knights, or whatever the fuck they're called, who have a whole entire archive, Jedi archive, with Cordova, who also lived. Keep going forward. It gets a lot of back and forth between the planets, do this, do that, but the story kind of stagnates halfway through, in my opinion. The next big thing is you eventually return to Jeddah like a third time, and the Empire strikes. Then it's revealed that Bode was working for the Empire the entire time, selling out all their information to them. You also find out that Bode is also a Jedi survivor. He was a survivor from Order 66. And he only did what he was doing to protect him and his daughter, Kata. Eventually you go to Nova Garen, you take out people. If I don't have the exact stuff, I don't script my stuff. That's why I do this. I think unscripted is best. It gives a more raw emotional value towards things, in my opinion. If you don't like it, don't watch. If you like it, watch it, you know? I've always found unscripted stuff to be a little more appealing and entertaining. You get a person's first thought rather than their thoughts when they were writing on a piece of paper or something. That's just my opinion. That's how I am. Take out Ravis, who was the leader of the Bedlam Raiders, who's also working for Nova Dagan Gera. Seer also gets marked by Darth Vader. I guess that was supposed to be an emotional impact thing, but wasn't. Then you take out Dagan Gera, and then you're on your way to find. Actually, you take out Dagan Gera before you find out Bode's even a Jedi survivor. When you find out he's a Jedi survivor, then you go to Nova Garen to find him. He gets away. That's when Cal starts to decline and starts digging into his dark side. That time slow thing becomes a damage multiplier, essentially, gameplay mechanic wise. Yeah. Essentially, you defeat Bode on Tanalorr, and that's kind of where it ends. They take in Kata to basically adopt her, essentially, or something like that. That's the important stuff. Let's go over gameplay. Gameplay is very similar to the first game, but with some better stuff. They emphasized on stances. Graphically, the game is better. Movement wise, the game is better. I do like when they give you the abilities firsthand rather than stretched across. Like, some of the abilities are stretched out, but a majority of them, and I say this as an achievement hunter mindset, it's better, because I hate having to grind 2 or 3 playthroughs a game. That's why I'm dreading. Like, I have Resident Evil 2 right now downloaded, but I'm dreading playing it because I already know I'm gonna have to play it 6 or 7 times in order to get all the trophies for it or achievements. The game is great. I love Jedi Survivor. The gameplay is fun. It gets repetitive down the road. I feel like that's a big thing with many large games. This game is large. I think it took me, let me look. It took me almost 40 hours to get the 100%. In reality, that's not horrible. Excuse me. On a casual mindset, that's not great. As a casual gamer, it's very hard to, I think personally, it's hard to 100% when you only can invest a few hours here and there. I did do a walkthrough series on it. I cut out quite a bit of stuff though. A lot of the grinding for certain things, finding things. I'm gonna stop doing that because, like I said, I'm going to start streaming my 100% walkthroughs, and what I'm going to do is just essentially re-upload the actual walkthrough aspect of those streams to the main channel. So if people just want to watch the actual walkthrough aspect, the first playthrough, the blind playthrough of things, they can watch that. without having to go through and watch hours worth of lives. Yeah, one of my favorite things is they added dismemberment. I do love that. This game does feel a lot more aggressive and a lot more violent, which definitely gives you a feel for the world a bit better. Because on a screen run essence of Star Wars, it's aimed towards kids, but it's also a story derived for adults, if that makes any sense. It's not purely built for children. The concepts are adult. You have, tyrannical governments, you have rebellious forces, you have galactic warfares and democracies, you have killing people and traitors, bounty hunters and raiders, and some morally ethical questions, sort of like Anakin when he killed the younglings. That's not exactly a child-oriented theme. So I believe that the screenplays definitely run a, at least a preteen, teen-oriented derelict, except for some, like the Clone Wars is definitely oriented towards children. It's an animation-oriented, displayed on a child network. But yeah, gameplay wise, I liked it. Some of the trophies are stupid. Some of the achievements on this are horrendous. Now we'll go over those right now. I'm gonna go ahead and go over the trophy list. I'll pop it up. Sorry, gotta mess with some stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. This. I'll put myself all the way up here. All right. I don't know if that's even easily seeable. I can't really see it on the recording, but all right. So you have all of your story trophies essentially, which is what all of these up top are. I think these first like 11 or 12 are all story. This is story, this is story, this is story. That's not story, but that's easy. Story, easy. Meet the Jedi Masters. I think that's story. Obtain your furnished bounty. I believe that is actually story. I actually believe you cannot miss this, as it's there is a story. This is just easy. Story. That's easy. You can get that. That's a progressive one, and you just get that over time. Story. Easy. Thank God this one is not as glitchy as it was in Fallen Order. The customize yourself one was stupid on Fallen Order, super buggy, and obviously story. Easy. Trade 25 collected item. That's easy. Very easy. Let's get over the ones that are fucking stupid. You've Got a Friend is a weary one. If you are trying to do the achievements for this game, I'd be very careful because you can actually miss this one, because it is 10 times each. So you get your companions, and you can only get one of two. You either get Marin while you're on Jeddah in certain areas of Jeddah, and then you have Bode. Eventually, if you go too far in the story, you can no longer go back to Jeddah and get Marin to go with you, and it has to be in one save file. That means you have to play through like half the game in order to get this trophy. This is easy. This is literally just putting on the poncho. Fucking holotactics is ridiculous. If you don't have all of the holotactic like skins from BD, that one's a nightmare. Cage is a little grindy one. You gotta run around and find really you have to complete the game and then find most of the bounties after that. The scuba diving, that one's easy. All legendary adversaries is buggy and it's hard to keep track of. 2 of the enemies you cannot actually physically keep track of. And if you see my first episode or the second episode of the walkthrough, I spent hours reloading to Curson, forgetting that I killed the legendary enemy through the wall. I completely forgot about that. So yeah, come to find my surprise that I just kept going and thought I was stuck. I ended up missing. There's a certain enemy later on in the game. When you go to the observatory section, that there's a legendary enemy. So when I got that was easy. I guess really the Splurgle is probably the most annoying. Mainly because of you get the shards, and one of them you have to get Neko, which is one of the rideable characters you can receive down in that main area where the cantina is. You have to get a rare colored one, which is completely RNG, and then you have to park it in the stable. When you park it in the stable, you can go back and ride the same one over and over again. 3 hours of reloading or meditating at the cantina meditate to get a fucking bright purple Neko to spawn so I can get the last shard. Ridiculous. Super poor fucking design. Complete all 4 stairs was easy. I say easy. Some of them were fucking stupid. But all in all, the trophies are not like just super bad. I think the game is a solid A. I can't say S. It's A. I think both games are A. Now that I played both, I think both games are A. The first one might go towards the S a little bit, just because it's a staple. It was kind of like a rejuvenating source to the Star Wars series. The theming is... I did not have a huge connection to this game. I just played it because I had it, because I wanted to get the 100% achievements. The game lacks the ability to draw you into the story like the first one did. The first one kind of kept you on your seat. It had good themes of loss and whatnot. This one has the same themes of loss. Essentially, the entire Star Wars franchise has themes of loss. It's kind of its motivating processor for its existence. The story's good. It's not bad by any means. It's just not engaging to me. Having some new Pinnacle stuff would have been nice. Like finding out about Tanalorr and stuff. Adding a little bit of new canon is good. It wasn't drastic enough for me to care. That's just my honest opinion. Like I said, these are just from reviews from me of my opinion, and to find people that are like-minded in those opinions. The game was great. The story is good. I just didn't have enough grasp for me to care as much as I think I should. I loved the game. I had fun. I love the combat. The gameplay's fun. It is definitely a game to check out. It is definitely better in many instances than its predecessor, than Fallen Order. Some things are a little bland. The stances didn't play as good as a role as I really wanted them to. You had I literally used a single blade stance for majority of the game. And I only did other stances because I was forced to, because quite a few of those trophies in there, achievements in that list, you had to use specific stances and their special abilities to do it. I thought the blaster stance was cool. I love the crossguard stance, the one with the, you get the hilt pieces like Kylo Ren's lightsaber. That stuff was cool. I love the increase in the amount that you could customize your lightsaber. It was pretty cool and impressive. I like doing that. I love customizable characters. Being able to imprint your own personality into the game is always a good thing for me, and it's always going to get praise from me if it's done the right way and it's done good. But yeah, this game is a solid, yeah, I'd say a solid A. But yeah, thanks for stopping by to listen to my little rant on Jedi Survivor. I think the next one is going to be Far Cry 4, which is going to be in similar format as this. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment what you think about the game, what you thought about if you 100% achievements or trophies or platinumed. Let me know what you thought about that process. Thanks for watching.